Hello, it's Randy Duck and welcome back for another video. Today I've got two replays to show you in the tier 10 mercenary premium heavy tank, the Rogal Dorn. This is the Warhammer 40k tank, which was released some time back. And I've had this replay for a little while, which I've just never used. But yeah, I've got two replays to show you today. We are using the 700 Alpha gun. This tank does come with two different turret options with two different guns. One where you can use the 700 Alpha gun, which is really good. And then you also get an auto cannon as a secondary weapon, which is a 4-shot autoloader with 250 Alpha per shot. So in my opinion, this is the best loadout on the tank. It can be really good when you combine that secondary weapon with that nice first gun it actually has with the 700 Alpha. We get a good start to the game. We do eat one shot, but we also trade that off with 700 Alpha. It then has a secondary gun which is 500 Alpha per shot, but it comes with like the double barrel mechanic, so you can fire single fire for the 500 Alpha or double fire for the 1000 if both shots pen. But today we are, as you say, running the 700 Alpha gun, which is the one I think is the best on this tank. So a decent start to the game, picking up 2 pens, already on 1,300 damage. Should hopefully be able to pick up a third pen into this 58 heavy, which we do. And then we pull back into cover here. As I say, Himmels is naturally a good map for a tank like this. You see I'm swapping to the 3-shot autoloader here to see if I can snipe his cupola there. But then we swap back to the main gun while we let that secondary weapon go on to reload. As we've successfully managed to win the sort of banana area, and now I'm going to try and push in. We've also won the hill by the looks of it. Well, it at least seems to think we've won the hill. So I'm going to push in and try and deal with this Waffle 100. Unfortunately, my small secondary weapon was still on reload, because if it wasn't, I could just finish that Waffle with the secondary weapon. But we should be able to get the kill on the Waffle, but it gets shut down anyway. So we're going to focus the Batchat here with our secondary weapon. You can see here, this is where it comes in really handy. Just for finishing off these lightly armoured tanks like this, you can really boost up your damage, and puts on about 4,000 damage. We managed to block about sort of 1,500 as well, so decent start to the game. It's still fairly even at the moment, 12 versus 12. We managed to get the advantage by confirming the kill on that Batchat, and we're just pushing forward now to try and get into the rest of the damage in this game. So far so good, but there's still quite a bit of hit points left. Hopefully we can pick up the shot there on the enemy Thankyou, which is spotted on the other side. Sorry, heavy tank, sorry. And that puts us on to our second kill of the game with 5,000 damage. We now got another Rogal Dorn. We're going to go for the cupola, which we should easily be able to pen. We potentially can pen this as well with the small gun. If we roll high enough, but unfortunately we wasn't able to do that, and now we are getting rushed by this Rogal Dorn. But I'm hoping we might get a bit of support from my team here, because I'm in a little bit of bother. But you see I have got covering shots from the tanks who've won the hill as well when our Terran shuts him down there. Puts us on to about 6,400 damage with 7 tanks remaining. Going to go for the finishing shot on the Rogal Dorn there. We don't quite roll high enough to finish him off, unfortunately. We do low roll slightly. Puts us on to about 7,000 damage with 6 kills remaining. Just going to try and push in to get to the remaining of this damage. Want to try and just get as much damage as we can before this game ends. So hopefully we should be able to land a nice shot here onto this enemy pattern as we come around this corner. Should be yeah, and that was kind of frustrating, but we bounced that shot. Kind of our own bad poor aiming. We can at least pen him with the small gun, but we kind of missed out on a little bit of damage there by not just finishing him off with our primary weapon, which is a bit of a shame. And this game is pretty much coming to an end with only 3 tanks remaining. Being in the Rogal Dorn, you obviously are quite slow, naturally, because you are sort of a super heavy. We've only top speed of 30 kilometers an hour. It's going to take us a little while to get over there, and it's whether anything's going to have any hit points by the time we actually make it to the other side. I'm kind of doubtful for at the moment, but we're going to head over that. Nonetheless, want to just, you never know, do you? If you do make it, get a nice little bit of extra damage in. This light tank is crossing through the caps. We're thinking maybe if he does continue his cross, we might be able to get a shot in, but he's sort of pulled back around, so we don't have the shot, and he has lost pretty much all his hit points now as well. So whether it's even worth the shot of damage at this point, I think the one I'm looking to shoot is maybe this heavy tank on the right hand side. That's got the most hit points left, so definitely going to win this game. It's just whether we can finish off and get a bit more damage. We do at least manage to get a shot into that pan. Unfortunately, I had lost, like I say, most of his health, but that does put us on to about just shy of 8,000 damage with 3 kills and only 1 tank remaining. It's the enemy light tank who gets shut down by our arty, and that brings an end to replay number 1. But we do still have one more replay to come here, so let's just see how we got on. We finished up with 3 kills, just shy of 8,000 damage, 2,300 blocked and a high caliber. Like I said, this was quite an old replay, this one here, but we've got a more recent one coming up on the second replay. Okay, so here we are for replay number 2 then on Kasserine. It is the assault variant of the map, and we are the attacking team. So initially we're going to push straight into the low ground. We want to get into the action as quickly as we possibly can and go the most direct route as possible. Like I say, we don't have that much speed. We just want to get into the fight and hope that we get into a brawl, really. There is no enemy light tanks on this game, but there is 1 enemy artillery to contend with. So no light tanks good, might help us not get spotted too quickly, too early by taking an aggressive play, but I just want to try and get into low ground, hope that some tanks actually come my way so we can get into a brawl. It looks like there is an enemy IS-7 which we're going to go and try and contest and see if we can get in a battle with the IS-7. Obviously you have to be careful, because when we poke up the ridge, when we get closer to the IS-7, there naturally will be sort of tanks camping on the ridge behind, which can get shots into us. So we just have to you just hope for the best here. It looks like a lot of the enemy tanks have actually pushed the other side. So you know, that gives us an indication of how many tanks are sort of left. It's always good to count the enemy tanks on the mini-map when they do get spotted. We should be able to battle this IS-7 pretty nicely with our sort of 700 alpha gun. We're going to be able to out-trade him, so I'm happy to eat a shot in order to get one in, because basically I'm going to win the trade. Thankfully we actually bounce the shot as well, which is always handy, and we get that first shot in, and we're looking to try and pen him actually with the small gun here, but it's going to be quite a difficult pen. I think on the small gun you have, I think it's 182 penetration, so it's not a lot of penetration, but you can pen quite a lot of tanks with that low. But the IS-7 is not really going to be one of those tanks. So we swap to the main gun here. We should be able to get the nice shot in through the peak of that IS-7. Unfortunately, we bounced a shot, which is not great. Again, we're firing a small gun here. It's never really going to pen. We can track him though, and we can pen through the track wheel. So we do pick up the kill with a small gun because of the angle the IS-7 was at. That puts us on to 1,500 damage with 1 kill. And it's still an even Stevens 14 versus 14. But if you're looking at the mini-map here, like, I think about sort of 6 of their tanks are all down in that corner. So I'm trying to work my way over there. I'm going to see if we can try and battle this tank in front of us, this enemy AMX, which we should be able to get a nice shot in. We can definitely pen this tank with the small secondary weapon, but I think that is still on reload at the moment. So we just pull back into cover because we're getting targeted by something, and again I'm thinking, is there anything on the ridge sort of to the right hand side? I don't think there can be many tanks though, just because a lot of their tanks are spotted in the other side of the map. So I am going to take this chance, this opportunity to push closer to try and get into the damage and try and get into the fight, because so far we've had a decent start to the game. We lost a little bit of hit points, but managed to trade that out with 2,000 of our own. But there's a lot of hit points remaining, so we want to try and get over there as quickly as we can. Unfortunately, this AMX loses a lot of his hit points before I get there, so I do pick up the kill, but I don't pick up a lot of damage out of that tank. Again, we do pick up our second kill, which is nice. We are sort of detected there, so we're waiting to lose our spot before we actually make the cross over. And we want to get back into this low ground, into this riverbed, to try and deal with those enemy tanks, which looks like it's pretty much all of their team. But as we make our advance, we do spot the enemy artillery. So we're going to try and get a shot into this artillery here and pick up a bit more damage here. We do land a big shot. We spot to the small gun. We track him in place. We land one with the small gun there. And we can actually, we see an enemy Foch here. We might be able to shoot with a small gun because of the angle he's actually at. We pen one of them, and then we're going to go for this enemy tank destroyer, get spotted. So we get 3 out of our 4 shots in the small gun. You can see how it really does boost the damage, and then we set them on fire, which is nice, putting us onto 4,400 damage with 2 kills. We are losing the game with 2 tanks down, but we're still fairly confident at the moment because we're pretty healthy. But we do want to get into damage as quick as we can. We get a nice shot there into the Foch. Hopefully we can finish him off before he gets across. Unfortunately not, but he gets shut down by our friendly tank, which is good. That gives us a bit of freedom to push up. Enemy Waffle gets spotted on the other side. We managed to finish off that AT-60 there. And now we're going to try and, we can obviously pen the Waffle quite comfortably with both rounds. And we're 5,000 damage with 3 kills. And we brought this game back to a 6 versus 6. So it's still very much in the balance here. Land a nice shot into that Waffle E100. Swap to the small gun so we can try and go for his turret here. If he pokes again, we should be able to get some shots in there. But we want to just try and... I don't want to get clipped out by the Waffle. Obviously, like the Rogal Dorn, he does have decent armour. Not so much as like the Lehman Russ. The Lehman Russ has better armour than this. But the Rogal Dorn, I think he's definitely got the more firepower out of the 2 tanks. Again, this Waffle 100 is sort of stopping me going into low rank. I don't want to get clipped out by that Waffle as I make my advance, but also I need to try and get into the damage as quick as we can. But we are starting to lose this game, so I've got to be a little bit careful. It's 4 versus 6 now. The enemy team do have a 2 tank advantage, and you see I'm just being patient here because, like I said, I don't want to go into low ground and then that Waffle clip me out, because that could happen. But also I don't want my team just to start falling apart without me sort of getting involved in the game and helping them so much. We swapped to a small mini-map just because we want to be clear that Waffle's coming behind us. We spot the enemy artillery there. He's looking to line one up for us. We can hopefully try and finish him off, which we do, picking up our 4th kill, putting us on to 6,600 damage now with 4 kills and 4 tanks remaining. We're just backing up. I'm really expecting this Waffle just to come around the corner any minute and be available for a shot. That is the sort of thing which is, like I say, causing me to be hesitant at this moment in time, because it's like it's a firepower Waffle. You make one small mistake, if it catches you out, it can finish you off. We're going to try and finish off this Avery though, which we do, bringing us to our 5th kill of the game, putting us on to just shy now of 7,000 damage, and brought us back to a 3 versus 3. It's quite fun that this is more of an even game. Like I say, the even games are more fun than when it's just like a complete stomp on either side. I'm going to try and find this Waffle. He has come behind me. He's put 2 shots in. He's going to put... Well, he actually bounces one, which means I'm now able to kill him and not die. So that's what I was trying to avoid. But thankfully, the Waffle actually bounced a shot and was able to survive that one. But we do pick up our 6th kill of the game, putting us on to 7,000 damage with 2,000 damage, 2,000 assistance and 6 kills. There's one shot tank left. I'd love to be able to get over there and pick up the 7th kill of the game. I'm kind of thinking he's going to get killed by our tank destroyer though, but we're going to go over there just in case. We'd love to be able to pick up that kill. And our tank destroyer actually does get taken out, so we might have an opportunity here to kill this 50B. He is a 1 shot to us. I'm pretty confident we're going to win this game at this point, and we do. Thankfully he pokes and it allows us to get that 7th kill. That brings us then to the video. So how do we get on? We get 7th kill, getting the Devastator medal. We get 7,000 damage of our own, 2,000 assistance, and the 8 tanker there and the high caliber. So that's it for the video. No Rogal Dorn, thank you so much for your support, and as always, happy tanking.
Enemy in sight. Hadouken!